What's good, everybody? My name is Coach, and in today's video we're going to be going over 5 commanders that are great for people who are brand new to Magic the Gathering. By the end of this video, you'll know what these commanders are, you'll know why they're good for new players, and you can then make a decision whether these are cards or commanders that you want to add to your personal collection. The first commander that we're going to go over here is actually the first commander that I played. This is Skullbriar, the Walking Grave. What makes a commander good for new players? If we take a look at Skullbriar over here, and the overarching theme for the commanders that we have here is that they're relatively cheap to play. Skullbriar costs 1 black and 1 green to play, which means that on turn 2 of every game that you play with this commander, Skullbriar will always be in the game. Skullbriar's ability allows him to put +1/+1 counters on him, making him stronger every time he deals combat damage to a player. And he also has the ability to keep the counters that Skullbriar receives. Skullbriar is a straightforward deck that's just based on attacking your opponents and just getting stronger over time. It's something that I have found that is simple and easy and fun for new players to understand. The first commander that I would suggest is Skullbriar, the Walking Grave. The next commander that we have over here is Wylith, Soul of Steel. First of all, I want to say that this deck on Amazon right now costs about $15. This is a pre-constructed 100 card deck that is just relatively cheap and it's really easy to play. Wylith, much like Skullbriar, attacks and gives you a certain type of ability, where when Wylith attacks, you draw a card for each aura and equipment attached to it. It's extremely simple for new players to be able to just take a look at this card. You just tell them, play this card, play these cards, put those cards on this card and attack, and you draw more cards. Wylith does a really good job of allowing new players to feel like they're playing the game well, quickly, and it's always fun to draw cards, and Wylith draws a ton of cards. So the second commander I'm going to suggest is Wylith, Soul of Steel. The third commander that we have here is Kranko, Tin Street Kingpin. So Kranko, much like the other commanders that we have over here, has an attack trigger and costs 3 mana to play. If you have 3 lands on turn 3 of every single game, you should always be playing Kranko. When Kranko attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it, then create a number of 1/1 red goblins equal to Kranko's power. So not only does he attack, he also leaves back goblins that's going to allow you to protect your life total. Kranko is another one of those easy to understand commanders that puts people in a position to just experience what it's like to play the game. The next commander that we have over here is Killian, the Ink Duelist. We take a look at the mana cost for Killian: 1 white and 1 black, which means that turn 2 of every single game that you play, Killian will enter the battlefield. They're immediately able to cast their commander and play with their commander. It's an overarching theme for cards that are good for beginners. If we take a look at Killian's ability, he has lifelink, which means that you're going to allow your brand new player to gain life and potentially stay in the game longer than usual. He also reduces the cost of spells. A lot of people, when they play Killian, what I've seen is that people play cards that allow Killian to get stronger and bigger so that he can deal more combat damage to win the game because he has lifelink and menace. In my experience, what I've found with Killian and what people tend to enjoy more, which is going to be, it's all relative, it's all according to your perspective, but I've built Killian in a way that's more based on discard. Basically, there are 3 mana discard spells that causes people to discard 2 cards. With Killian, those 3 mana discard spells cost 1 mana to play. And by turn 3, you'd have enough mana, as long as you have 2 swamps, to cast 2 of those discard spells, causing your opponent or an opponent to discard 4 cards. Killian is a powerful commander because it teaches new players the importance of card advantage, how important it is to have cards in your hand, and how powerful it is to play against an opponent that has no cards. So Killian is a great commander for new players. The last commander that we have over here is Feather the Redeemed, another Voltron type commander. Similar to Killian in that Killian reduces the cost of spells, but Feather allows you to retain those spells. And Feather is a great commander because it teaches new players the importance of casting spells maybe waiting to cast spells so that those spells can trigger with Feather, so that it allows them to be reused over and over again. Feather is another one of those commanders that is powerful and allows new players to understand the important aspects of the game. These are the commanders that I would suggest for new players. It's really up to you. These commanders I actually own inside my own collection, and whenever somebody tells me that they're new, and when I say new, I mean literally has never heard of Magic the Gathering before, these are the commanders that I bring out and I show to them so that they can just have an understanding and have the experience of playing these games. I know that many other people have many commanders like this, and if you have any commanders that serve that purpose in your collection, you can let everyone know in the comment section below so we're all aware of what those commanders are, okay? I hope you have an amazing day, alright? Peace out, people.